interesting point that I usually get from people when I interact, those people who are well versed in leading the communities and doing the communities, is there's a question of always that where does community fits in the organization structure?
Yeah.
Is it under
Yeah.
CMO or under the CEO or under the sales? That is the first question. And the second question is, being a CMO, you know that there are certain activities which can actually drive the outcome from a community to the demand generation. But
Yeah.
it's it's very rare that people know how to do those links.
Yeah. Which is
So,
effectively in the book, why I built playbooks that show, I look at community as a 3-orbit model. So how do you start in the community, go into brand awareness, and go into then product demand is part of that. But I have playbooks that effectively walk people through. I think I have 4 or 5 different scenarios in the book of here's how you might go about integrating those kinds of activities to make it work. But going
hmm,
back to your initial question on where does it live, I think it really depends on how you define community. If and I think the short answer is it best lives in marketing. If you're joining a community, what you want is you want to become a better whatever, a better engineer, a better marketer, a better mother or father, a better knowledgeable person on some area of interest. I want to be a better cook or whatever that might be. If I join that community, I'm looking for insight and connection of like people. And if I find that you and I join a cooking community, we start exchanging information about how to cook better, what the best recipes are, what kind of tools you might use in that. The last thing that I want to do is find like Ayush, like I just met you, we're sharing information, but now you're trying to sell me some product and it feels awkward. It's like I joined this community, but now you're trying to sell to me. This this isn't the kind of relationship that I wanted to build with a bigger community. And when sales leads a community, you have this immediate demand of how do we make money from Derek? So Ayush is the salesperson. Derek joined the community. How much money can Ayush make from Derek immediately? That puts a bad taste in the mouth of the community. And members like me in that regard probably wouldn't return to that engagement. The communities that are helpful in nature to start with attract much more attention. Communities that, and there are 2 flavors of community. One is a product specific or company specific community, and the other is a community of practice. In a product specific community, those can be owned by marketing. They could also be owned by customer success because the people in that community are likely already your customers. You're not trying to attract more customers in that community. You're more so trying to retain the customers that you have by getting them to interact with other like customers. So you're using the product, I'm using the product. What can we learn from each other? And you're trying to facilitate those relationships. But it's very rare that for product communities, those people are only using one product and that's all they do. If you imagine in marketing, the HubSpot community, there are lots of people in the HubSpot community that love HubSpot and that all use HubSpot, but those same people use 20 different marketing tools in their tech stack. HubSpot is not the only one. If the community only served HubSpot, you could have value there, but limited value. If you said, I'm going to build a community for all marketers using marketing technology and talking about how we integrate and build all of that, you would get much more value out of that. And by being helpful in those communities, you can organize in marketing a way to support that kind of community support the engagement, support being helpful. And I think that's what a lot of content marketing and community marketing is doing, is being the source of helpful information that attracts attention of the market. And the more attention that you can get from that market, the more you can nurture a relationship with that market over time that turns into sales for your organization.